Prove the identity. Forward difference cube, it is equals to e cubed minus 3e squared plus 3e minus what? Minus 1. As we all know, the forward difference operator, which is this del, it is the same thing as what? As e minus what? Minus 1. So, therefore, to find d cube, to find this forward difference cube, I can expand what? I can expand the expression of what? I can say this is the same thing as what? Or let me say, so that you will understand it, let me say this will implies the power difference, it is the same thing as what? It is the same thing as e minus what? Minus 1 cube. So, therefore, as you all know, e minus 1 cube, it is the same thing as what? It is the same thing as e cube minus what? Minus 3e what? 3e squared multiplied by what? By 1, and also plus what? Plus 3e, and also multiplied by what? Multiplied by 1 square minus 1 raised to the power of what? Raised to the power of 3. So therefore, the difference, the forward difference cube, it is the same thing as e to the power of 3 multiplied by this. This is e to the power of 3. I keep it down, and therefore I have to say subtract it by 3e what? E squared when I multiply this, and also I multiply with this one. So therefore I have to say plus what? Plus 3 multiplied by this e, and therefore multiplied by this 1 squared. Also I will get only 3e, and also 1 cube is the same thing as that 1. So as you can see, this forward difference operator, it is the same thing as this. It's been proved. But there's one thing that I need you to know. I said e minus 1 cube, I say it is the same thing as what? As this. Some people might say how? So I have to say e1 minus 1 and e minus 1, not e1, and therefore e minus what? 1. So I have to multiply them. So I have to say, the first thing that I'm going to do, let me keep this e1 minus 1 first. And this multiplied by this, I'll get what? E squared. And therefore, this multiplied by this, I'll get only what? Negative e. And therefore, 1 multiplied by this, I'll get negative e. So I'll have negative e. 1 multiplied by this, I'll get positive what? Positive e. So okay, sorry, positive 1. So as you can see, I've done with what? With that. So this is the same thing as saying it will now become e squared minus e minus e. I'll get minus 2e plus what? Plus 1. So I'll multiply it by this e minus what? By this e minus 1. I'll multiply by this e squared minus 2e plus 1. So I'm going to multiply this e multiplied by this e. I'll get what? I'll get e cube, and therefore this e multiplied by this, I'll get what? And I'll get minus, yes, I'll get minus 2e squared. Yeah, and therefore the same thing, e multiplied by 1, I'll get plus what? Yeah, I'll get plus e, plus only e, and then 1 multiplied by this e squared, and I will get negative what? E squared, and also 1 multiplied by this negative 2e. What should I going to get? I'll get negative what? Negative, okay, this negative multiplied by this negative, I'll get positive 2 what? 2e, and also this negative 1 multiplied by this positive 1, I'll get negative 1. So at the end, as you can see, it will be e cube, and then I will say this e squared and this squared, they are in common. So if I say minus 2e squared minus e squared, it is the same thing as minus 3e squared. So minus 3e what? Minus 3e squared. And therefore I'm done with it. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. So let's come for e. E plus 2e, I'll get positive, yeah, positive what? Positive 3e, positive 3e, and therefore I have what? I have only one, which is -1. So as you can see, I have what? I have e to the third power minus 3e squared, and also plus 3e minus what? -1, and it is the same thing as what I write here, and it is the same thing as this equal sign of what? Of this question. So therefore, hence this identity is being proved.